Good evening, boys and girls. This is Doctor McFarland coming at you on a Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday, and my wife made enchiladas. And I did have one enchilada, but I did make some eggs, and I ate some leftover steak and pork chop to get my meat and egg consumption in for the day. And it was all really good. So, y'all come on in and tell me your name, where you're from, and do you own a Line 6 product? So, today, Line 6 dropped the 3.60 update, and looks like it's a really good one. As of right now, I only own one Line 6 product, and that is the Line 6 Helix native plugin. So I have that called up in my DAW of choice, which is Mixbus 32C, but you can use this in Reaper and Studio One and whatever else you want. And then later on in the live stream, I thought it'd be fun to compare the Helix native plugin to my Fortin Neural DSP plugin. So let's see if I have. Where is this thing? Thought I had this somewhere. But if not, I can check out something else. Also have the Amplitude stuff, and I have the amped flagship and the amped roots, and I have a bias effects too. So I got quite a few plugin options at my disposal, but for now we're just going to check out the Line 6 Helix native. And I could have swore I had the Fortin on here. I think you have to have a let me see. I have an iLock plugged in. So let me check. Fortin Cali Suite. It's probably under Neural DSP somewhere. There it is. There it is. I'm going to drag it to my my quick links down here. Cannot be loaded. Please contact software to pay support software. Yeah, I got iLock plugged in. That's one thing I do not like about iLock is if you don't have it all working, it's just not going to work. iLock's licensed software. Let's check this out here. Y'all come on in. We're going to talk about some Line 6 stuff. Looks like I need to get an update, so I'll do that real fast. Unless it forces me to update my computer or restart my computer, which in that case, I will not worry about it. But for now, we'll try to get it going. So I am having some fun playing some guitars. And looks like I am live, so that's good. I'm just checking my email real fast. Still as of yet today, I have not tried any of the Tonex stuff, which you can access Tonex through the Amplitude software, which is cool. And let me show you that real fast. If you're not already familiar, Amplitude 5. And this may have an update for it somewhere. I'm just not sure. And it looks like it quit unexpectedly. So we'll have to figure that one out a little bit later. Check, check, 1, 2, check, check. Looks like I got volume. I have plenty of volume here. So anyway, I'm going to start looking at some native stuff. And let's go to the website. And let's check out what all is new. Okay. So in the plugin, my Helix HX is that version, kind of goes straight to 3.6. Yeah, okay, that's cool. So this is a Grammatico GSG 100. And let me just read what's on the page here. So the Grammatico is an amp based on the study of legendary amps made around 1980. This model aims to capture all the unique details of this amplifier circuit, many of which are quite different from popular guitar amps from the major companies. The GSG 100 is a feature-rich and complicated amp. There are many amazing sounds in the amp, however, the controls allow for such a wide range of adjustment that it's possible to get unpleasant sounds from it as well. The best use of the amp, it really helps to know exactly what each of these features is doing to the guitar signal. Let's go through the parameters as they are found in the Helix model. All right, so we got drive, bass, middle, treble, presence, channel, volume. This controls the output of the amp model. Okay, master, mid switch, jazz, rock. Changes the wiring of the tone stack circuit. Allows for two totally separate tonal voices. Jazz is quieter with a lower center frequency in the mids. Rock is louder with a more traditional mid-frequency center. That's really cool. This turns the two gain stage tube overdrive circuit on and off. Okay. OD drive. This controls the amount of drive or saturation in the overdrive circuit. OD level, this controls the output level of the overdrive circuit. All right, so that's pretty easy to understand. We got FET boost, which is a solid state boost circuit at the very beginning of the amp. It is akin to placing a FET boost pedal before the amp. So it's basically, you're going to kick that on and it'll push more signal to the front end, which will drive the amp harder and more naturally. Looks like there's some presets in Factory 04B, 13A, and 13B. Those presets were created by John Cordy, so that's cool. He is definitely a big Line 6 fanboy, and he has some great tones. So it looks like there's a Elmsley. This one employs a parallel distortion topology that layers distinct saturation characteristics across the lower and upper registers. The Elmsley features a smooth and present bottom end with some exceptional sparkle. All right, cool. So factory preset 1, OC4, turn distortion monitor off to hear the more natural amp. Aaron Short is in the house, and he's saying Helix forever. That's right. Well, you know, Aaron, when an update comes out and you just happen to have a product that features this update, then you might as well talk about it, right? Now, I have essentially sold all my Line 6 stuff, but I still own the Helix native plugin. So since I don't play in a band and I don't, only play out, once, or I'll play at church basically once or twice a month, sometimes more. I just don't need tons and tons of products or hardware products to get me tones that I need for playing live. But here in the studio, it's kind of fun to have different plugins and use different hardware to take advantage of all the cool things that they provide. So let me grab a guitar and we'll start playing through this plugin here. All right, this is a Pete Anderson Reverend signature model. And it's basically a Telecaster made by Reverend. And I think it feels great, sounds great. And Aaron's asking if I have a Helix, and I do not have a Helix. I had a Helix a few months ago, but I sold it. Because essentially I just don't need it. I didn't need it. I need to turn myself up here. Yep. Aaron says it looks like a Telly, and it feels like a Telly, but it's a Reverend Telly. Okay, not too bad. Where do they say this preset was 04? There's a Fullerton, Placator, something. So that's in factory. Let me look at the presets here, which one it is. 04B. Then we got 13 A and B. So let's try that. 13. See, mine's not... let me check that website one more time. Factory 1, 04B. Now I have updated my plugin. And we can see right here that under About, it is a 3.6. But I'm not seeing the updated presets in here for some reason. Not a big deal. I can make my own preset. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so I am under Nate Basic, and I already have the plug or the amp called up here. So I have a cab at the end, which is just a 2x12 match 25. Let's see what other things they have here. Okay, I'm gonna just roll with that. Let's check out what some of these parameters are. So we got drive, bass, middle, treble, presence, channel volume, master, mid switch, jazz and rock, OD switch. Okay, it's cool. And then there's the drive off. Now my mix bus is not like super low latency stuff. So let me bring this up to like 128. It's going to start coming down a little bit. So that's the thing about playing with plugins that does not have a standalone version. You're basically at the mercy of your DAW and whether it can handle low latency settings, like low buffer settings. So at 128, I can still, I don't feel any latency. It's only 2.6 milliseconds. Let's see what 256 is. That's 5.3. Okay, I'm not sure if you're hearing that or not. 512 is going to be 10. All right, so at 512, I definitely feel and hear the latency change. Let's go back to 256. I feel like this is pretty good. Now, latency does not get captured as you record. But if you have the buffer size so high that you feel the latency, you're going to start playing off. So if I turn the input off right here, I'm not hearing the input coming in from the plugin anymore. Right? And now it's there's nothing. There's nothing going on. And I also have now unmuted my guitar signal because I'm just plugging straight into my Apollo X8 interface. Right? Andrew Collins is in the house. He is the resident Line 6 connoisseur. So he just got the 3.6 update. Yay, that's cool. So it looks like a cool update. And what we're going to do is just basically test out these amps, maybe do some recording. Okay, so we're getting a little gritty there. Let's turn the mid switch on. I am on the bridge pickup here. Turn that off. All right, go to the jazz. It's going to change the mid-range characteristics. So I already lost a lot of volume because the mids aren't there. But we can go to our master. We can go to the channel volume and raise that up. So master volume pretty much across the board on Line 6 products is the actual master knob on the amp. The channel volume is going to be just like a linear fader, or it can be logarithmic, but it's basically just a linear fader that just changes the volume up and down. And I can confirm that. This controls the output level of the amp model. It has no effect on the tone or distortion of the amp model. So the master is the master volume on the front panel of the amp. So that's basically just what I said. I'm just checking to make sure I'm correct. It is located between the preamp and the power amp and can be used to get more or less power amp distortion. This amp is very loud, and most players would probably run the master volume on the lower side. If the master volume is cranked, the power amp distortion can be pushed into unpleasant territory. Most players would never crank their master in real life, as the actual output would be way too loud for most musical settings. Yeah, so let's just, for example, let's turn the channel volume all the way down, or down quite a bit, and then we're going to turn up the master volume all the way up. Okay, so that's all the way up. We'll adjust the channel volume. Go back to rock. Okay, so that's a good example of why the manual or the update PDF said, hey, you could actually dial in this amp to where it actually sounds bad. So usually you don't want to crank your master up that much, especially with this kind of amplifier. So we're going to kind of equal them out. down the master, bring down the channel volume. And the lower the master and the higher the channel volume, the more headroom you're going to get. So that sound pairs really well with the Telecaster, which I'm fine with. Let's do the mid switch. Let's do the OD switch back on. Okay. Channel drive. Maybe channel level. I'm watching my levels going out of Ecamm. Make sure I'm not clipping too much. Andrew, have you had any chance to mess with the new update? And if so, let us know what you like about it. Let's turn down this Elephant Man, good short slap back. Turn down the mix. Okay, not too bad. Let's go back to our amplifier and I'm going to make this a little cleaner. So turn off the OD, turn off the mid switch. Alright, I'm going to record something here. Let's go to the cue page. And we'll bring in a little drum part. We'll bring in a drum part. Let's do blues rock song. Yeah. Alright, we'll do some kind of bluesy thing. Something like that. And I'll put the cue marker right on there, QA. And we'll just press play and record. Here we go. Okay. Not bad. Let me just do a basic rhythm thing here. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's that. There is that. And we're gonna go to the front. started playing about right here. Yada, yada. All right, now notice that my input is still engaged, my monitor input, but I can't listen to what I've just recorded. So I'm gonna have to turn off monitor input. And now I'm gonna hear my playback. Oh, come on. Why is it behind? Something about it's behind. Something about it is behind. Maybe the latency? Surely not, though. Surely not the latency. Look ahead. I don't know. Seems like it's just slightly behind. Okay, this has got to be the front right here. That's got to be the front. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Didn't line it up correctly. Okay, now that I've heard, now that I can hear the actual playback, I now can't hear my guitar. Okay, so what that means is I have to force it to listen to input and the disc. Or if I turn both off. So now I don't hear my input, but I can hear the playback. So if I want to hear both, I have to turn both of these on. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It's pretty much standard across the board of any DAW. Okay, pretty cool. Now, another thing to keep in mind when using a plugin in a DAW is if you turn off the plugin, now you're going to get a totally dry sound from your guitar. Okay, so essentially that's all you're getting is a dry guitar, and then the plugin is adding whatever effect you want. Now, what's good about that is you can change the sound afterwards instead of committing to the sound and then printing it as you record, like I would normally do in a standalone plugin. So yeah, so I could easily, well, I can print this within the DAW itself. If I wanted to do this. So if I want to do a stem export, like so, my time span is going to be the session, my channel is going to be electric guitar. I am going to apply track bus processing. And then I'm going to check this box that says re-import exported audio. Okay, so we're going to take that. It's going to be EG Wave and export. And it's going to export real fast. And you can see what happens after this. And it's going to show up at the bottom, of course. Okay. So there it is at the bottom. Let me move it to the top. Or closer to the top. Okay. We're going to zoom in on this section here. And we can see that these are lined up pretty good. Alright, so we have a perfect recreation of my dry guitar plus the plug-in now printed on a new track. So if I turn off the plug-in, I can now A/B this section here. So there's the dry guitar. Dry. And there's the wet. Okay. So just because you record a dry guitar and you have a plug-in on that track that's giving you the amp and effect sounds, doesn't mean that you can't also print that and commit to it. So that way you don't have to worry about going back and just kind of psyching yourself out and saying, man, I think I can get a better tone or whatever, you know. Most of the time your gut feeling is the best. Your gut reaction is the best reaction, or your first initial, like, you know, just thoughts of inspiration. You know, if it's the sound that you like and it fits the song, more than likely you don't have to change it. So that is the good and the bad about modelers and recording with plugins. Is the good thing is there's tons and tons of options. The bad thing is there's tons and tons of options, and most people just by nature can't decide on crap. They just can't make a decision. They don't want to commit to anything until the very last second, and you know, it is what it is. So I've got a few people watching here. Y'all make sure you comment and ask some questions. I am talking about Line 6 Helix native tonight, but that doesn't mean we can't talk about other stuff. So anything you want to talk about, go ahead and leave your comment below, and we'll just keep having some fun here. So yeah, there's that. There is that. Let me go ahead and solo this. Turn back on the plug-in. Bring it back up. Where is it? My computer's been in this rainbow of death cycle mode for here lately for some reason. Well, it keeps wanting to open and then close for some reason. Okay. Let's just re-add it. So by creator, line 6, Helix native. All right, let's go check out another amp here. This is the, what was it called? Elmsley. The Line 6 Elmsley. Which, of course, these are not in alphabetical order, which is just dumb. But maybe it's not dumb. Maybe they're in there by the year they were released, possibly. Line 6 Elmsley. So if it starts with line 6, it's more than likely going to be toward the bottom. Alright, so now notice that the master is all the way up. Usually if it's like that, that means it doesn't have a master volume. But let's go through and let's check out what the specs are here. Andrew is asking, can I get a stereo sound using two FR speakers? Yes, you can. technically, if you have a stereo rig, but you're only going down to one speaker, there's no way you can ever sound stereo. You have to have two separate speakers and or two separate amplifiers to make a stereo sound. Okay. Otherwise, it's just going to be summed down to mono, and all your ping pong delays and whatever stereo reverbs and stuff you have going on will not see the light of day because you're just going through one speaker and it's just never going to do anything. So the other new key feature to the Emsley's power amp section is the negative feedback parameter. When the amount of feedback within the power section's response can be dialed anywhere from wild and unhinged to tight and punchy and anywhere in between. The presence and depth controls are part of the negative feedback circuit and functions to control the brilliance. Okay, that's kind of fun. So let's go check that out. We're going to turn down the drive a little bit first. So negative feedback. Let's turn it all the way down. See what we got there. Ooh, that's cool. So it definitely changed the tone or the the EQ balance a little bit. Andrew was asking how many new amps are in the update. I'm pretty sure we got 2 guitar amps and a Aguilar tone hammer. I think that's a bass. It's more of like a bass kind of thing. We got a bunch of different new cabs. So a greenback, a G25, an H30, a cart, creamback. Yeah, an open cream. So these two are mashless, an H30 and a G25. The Bluebell is a very popular Blue Alnico speaker. Yeah, let's go and try out this cream cab here. See where that's at. Greenback. So the H30 and the G25, there's those. The Bluebell. I'm looking for a cream here, folks. I might just be blind. Y'all ask me some questions so I don't look stupid just looking for a creamback. This is weird. 1x12 open cream. So maybe I'm just looking for the wrong thing. It needs to say open. 1x12 open. Just do not see it. I don't see it at all. Unless it's this Celestian. But I don't think that's it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We got the Chromatico. Well, we are in the legacy section, so we want to go to the single section. That's probably why I can't find it, Nathan. Hello. Okay, let's change to a different mic. Let's get something warmer. Let's do a 160. Andrew Collins is asking how many more weeks before I get the new guitar. That's a good question. It's probably been 6 or 7 weeks at this point. I'm probably at the halfway point. So it's probably going to be... When I first put in the order, I kind of figured it would be around June till I got it. So I got at least another month. If not a month and a week or a month and a half or something. So far we're kind of staying in the clean land territory, which is fine. Let's crank up some drive here. Now this negative feedback definitely changes the mid-range characteristic. All right, that's fine. I'm fine with all that. Go the opposite way. Turn up the presence. All right, let's turn on. I have a delay before the amp. That's just dumb. Well, it's not dumb, but I don't want it there. Let's check out one of the new overdrives. Lots of different mic options here. Position, cut, new cabs. This is for bass. The Epicenter. So we have a dark Dove Fuzz, which is basically a big muff, like a Russian big muff. Let's go check that one out. All right, so a dual cab feature. We have to click on cab and then just go to dual. Dual cab. So now we got 2 cabs. So we can have a cream on one and we can have do a G25 on the other. Something like that. So the Helix native plugin is essentially the HX Edit version for the hardware. Or it's just like the HX Edit that you get with the hardware. So I think I paid $99 for the native plugin like 4 or 5 years ago. It's just good to have around if you need to record with it or want to access some Line 6 stuff without having to have the hardware plugged in. But like I said before, you do have to deal with latency in your DAW. So you want to bring down your buffer size fairly low so you don't have to mess with the latency as much. But yeah, so essentially you just choose your dual cab option there and just bring in whatever you want. Now you can control the Helix native plugin with MIDI. And where is that here? We got IRs. There's some IRs I have in there. Yeah, you have to go somewhere and you can control it with MIDI. I'm not sure where that's at. No, you can't record with the HX editor. I'm just saying that the native plugin looks and edits just like the HX Edit version can. The HX Edit is only there to control the hardware that you already have. You have to buy the native plugin separately. That's why it's called native, because it works on your computer and it doesn't require hardware. That's a separate purchase. So just for fun, let's record this. Let's go to duplicate, new playlist. We'll make it after selection, like so. And let's mute this other one here. Go back to the beginning. And it's going to think. Yeah, I have one too. That's what I'm using. The Apollo. I have the Apollo X4 on my desk and the X8 in the rack. And I'm just plugging straight in to one of those inputs. I feel like that's a little loud. Let me turn the channel volume down just a bit. So in the DAW, I'm kind of shooting for that -18 to -12 range, or something like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and I'll have to put on the metronome, not metronome, but the metronome for this, so I can hear what I'm doing. That's not gonna work because I'm in don't a 2 a 3 a 4 a 1 a 2 a 3 a 4 a 1 a 2 a 3 a 4 That should work though. Why isn't it working? Alright, you didn't hear the other track because I had the input selected. So now you're going to be able to hear both in all its crappy glory. Now you hear him in stereo. Okay, not the best guitars I've ever recorded, but I'm eating some M&Ms because that's what I do. Okay, not bad. Let's duplicate this track again. New playlist. And this one, is going to have I got to check my computer. I got to figure out why it's just spinning. I don't know why it's just spinning. All right, I'm going to add, let's add my distortion here. We're going to go find the, what's the name of this? The Dark Dove Fuzz. So sustain, tone, and level. So it's basically a big muff, but it is the Russian big muff. And I'm gonna pan this down the middle so I can hear it normally. And we will crank the volume just a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and record with this sound. And here we go. Okay, not the best solo I've ever recorded, but see how it sounds in the mix. Wow, that's bad. All right, let me grab a bass guitar. Let me grab my bass, yeah. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Now, I know what you're saying. You're like, Nathan, what the crap did you just get? This is a headless bass. It means it doesn't have a headstock on it. And it's actually working pretty good right now. I ordered 2 of these. The first one had a horrible buzz. This one, I felt like had a buzz, but I'm not hearing it at the moment. Maybe because I need to turn on, there it is. There's my my horrible buzz. So let me duplicate this track and new playlist after selection. And we're going to call it bass. Because you can't have a blues jam without a bass guitar, man. You just can't do it. So for those who are just now watching, I am going over some of the ins and outs of the new Line 6 3.60 update. That is for the Helix floor, the HX Stomp, the HX Effects, and the native plugin, which I'm using in Mixbus 32C. I like this bass. It plays good, but that buzz is just very annoying. And I could probably open it up and I could see if there's like a loose wire or something weird. But when you buy something, you expect it just to work, and it's just not working. So I am foregoing this bass. Let me bring in. I guess it really doesn't matter. Let me see what we got. Let's see what we got. We'll just keep modifying this one. What is that? This is the Aguilar. Agua Sledge. Agua Sledge. Whoa. How many plugins do we need open? Jeez, oh Pete. Would you quit it? That is dumb. Okay. I'll tell you what. I really wish these were in alphabetical order, because then I could find it way easier. There's so many amps. Let me know other questions you folks may have about literally anything about music. Well, this is technically a preamp. So let me look in the preamp section. Da 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 da. Ba ba da ba ba da. Okay, that's under guitar. Let me go to bass. Sorry. I can actually find stuff if I actually look in the right category. I know it's hard. It's really hard to do that kind of stuff. That's just the way it is. Let's go to single. We're going to find, there's two new bass cabs here. It is the 1x12 Epicenter and the Ampeg Pro. Just find that Ampeg Pro. Okay, let's turn on the input to this. Okay. See how it's all staticky and stuff? Okay, let's turn off our distortion. Let's get rid of our volume. Let's get rid of our wall. Get rid of the mod, delay, verb. Let's get rid of our distortion as well. The hyper switch from Seymour Duncan, right? The only downside, they need a 9-volt battery. Yes, I don't like that part either. Just the fact that you could be playing at a gig and your battery go out and then you have no sound on your guitar. This doesn't make a lot of sense. At least I'm assuming that it would cut out the sound. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it would keep everything intact. You just wouldn't be able to switch anything anymore. So hopefully maybe it defaults to like your bridge position, or I don't know. More M&Ms. Alright, so I'm keeping this real simple. I just have the preamp and the cab. And maybe turn the gain down a little bit. Turn the master down. Now, I am returning this bass and my other bass just like it, because both of them had issues. So after the first one had issues, I went ahead and ordered a second one just to see if it was a spoof or if it's just a consistent across this brand. This is the Asmuse headless bass guitar. I mean, overall, I mean, it's a pretty solid instrument. It just has some issues I don't like. So yeah, I think so. So Andrew's asking, could you mount the battery part back where the springs go? And most of the time, there's enough room back there to kind of figure it out. You just have to make sure a wire was long enough to go through that section. But I don't see why not. It's very possible that you could do that. All right, I gotta figure out something here. I gotta figure this out. Stop. So this is a MIDI drum, but maybe it's in, oh, that's why it's in 12/8 time. It's in 12/8 time. And that's why my performance wouldn't line up to the grid at first as well. So if I want to go change this to 12/8 apply, now I'm in 12/8 time. This is interesting. Let's go select all this. Let's move it over to there. Okay. Let's mute that. Turn on the metronome. Okay. Now it's working. Now it's working. 3, 4. Okay. We'll turn off the metronome, but we'll give us 1 bar of drums before we come in. And I'm playing in A. Okay. Let's try this out. 3, 4. There we go. Let me go back to that turnaround and let me punch in that part because I messed up. So on that E right there, on the E, let's just go. Okay, we'll start there. We'll start right here. Well, actually, give me 2 bars of pre-roll. Okay, let me do that one. Let me do that one there. I just keep messing up. That's what I want to do. Okay, I got it. Okay. There we go, folks. So there's a little blues jam using the Grammatico, the Elmsley, and the Tone Sledge something or other. Not too bad. I can go in and turn off the disc for all these. Okay. Oh, weird. So there's our song, folks. Yeah. I'm not winning any Grammys anytime soon, but that'll work just fine. That'll work just fine. Maybe cut out some of that. Cut out some of that. And I think I'm good. So there's lots of other plugins I can bring in here. Let me add another. I have to update my my iLock for the Fortin to come up. But I can bring up the IK Multimedia Amplitude 5. And this looks like this. So that is Amplitude. And I can be on high Z2. Make sure my input set. be. Okay. Not sure why I'm not hearing anything. I should be. I should be hearing something. Something is soloed. What's being soloed right now? All this crap. No wonder. Okay, so fairly straightforward, just like the Helix native plugin. Come on. It's going to do this to me again. Alright, this is why I'm returning the bass. Just can't have it. And the first bass, actually the knobs, when you turn them, they rub against the body. Like something's off. Something's just off with these things. They're just very, very cheap. So let's unplug this. Not deal with the headless bass anymore. So those are just some tools of the trade that I can use and I have used for many a recording session, as well as the Helix, as well as my Kemper stage. I currently have an FM9, but I do have it up for sale on the marketplace. Not saying I don't like it, which I do like it. There is a slight learning curve to it. No matter how well you know the unit, some units are just way easier to maneuver around, at least very, very quickly. And I basically just made one preset that gives me all the tones that I need. And for what I do here in the studio and play live at church a few times a month, I can get that same sound with other stuff that I already have. So keeping a unit that cost me $1,900 that I'm basically just going to use one or two presets from doesn't make a lot of sense. If I was in a live band and I was touring and I needed something really rugged that gives me tons of different options, then the FM9 is a great solution for that. Obviously the Line 6 Helix, a lot of people love that and they use that every day on their tour. Jason Roller of Alabama and also the other guitar player in Alabama, they both use Headrush. So there's lots of Headrush users out there, lots of Kemper stage users playing gigs and clubs and stadiums. It just really comes down to what you prefer and what you like to work on. So looks like that's pretty much all the questions we have for tonight. Do check the description down below for affiliate links to Amazon and Sweetwater. I will go ahead and make some presets with the new update here for 3.60. And I have, let me go to my website real fast. drmcfarlandstudios.com. And under the store, you can see I have some Kemper stage rigs, FM9 presets, backing tracks, which I am up to date as of today. I will release one more for the month of April next week. So if you want to sign up to get 52 backing tracks this year, it's a one-time fee of $20. If you want to learn more about Headrush stuff, you can get HTS rigs, the tone sculpting course, and the bundle. And but what I want to show you right now is the Helix Studio presets. So this is something I'm going to keep adding to. And I got these amps or presets included, but also have a Helix preset, the 3.0 or 3.50 preset, which I'll add a 3.6 to as well. Then I have some Helix beginner presets that'll work for your floor and your HX Stomp or just whatever you're using. So if you want to help support the channel, I never suggest anybody do super chats because YouTube does take the portion of that money for themselves. I think it's like 30 or 40% of a super chat, which is just nuts. But if you want to help support the channel, go to my website, and if you're a Helix user of any kind, then pay a one-time $20 fee, donate to the cause, and you will get some cool Helix presets that you can use for the studio or the stage. So I do appreciate everyone for watching and continue to support the channel here. I'm about 12,300 subs at this point, maybe a little bit more. And yeah. Yeah, Andrew Collins is saying you can get 3 snapshots out of that new green amp. The green amp is the Grammatico. And yeah, you can get as many different snapshots as you want, depending on the unit that you have. In the native plugin, I don't know why it's doing that crap. You can have up to 8 snapshots within the plugin, which is just like the hardware. But for a HX Stomp, you're limited to 3. You're limited to 3 snapshots on the HX Stomp. You have 4 snapshots on the XL. The Stomp XL, which is the slightly larger Stomp version, the Stomp XL. And which I do like that unit, but I'm kind of holding off on some line 6 right now. I want to see what else they come out with. I just sold my HX Effects, which I just didn't use a whole lot, so I felt like the $400 I sold it for is better spent somewhere else, especially on this guitar that I have on order that I need to pay for eventually. But that is being paid for by or through PayPal credit. So I got 6 months to pay all that off once I make my final payment. So I won't have to pay it off till next January or February at this point. So I'll have plenty of time to get all that paid off. But if you want to help to the cause of the channel and buying more gear to review, then like I said, check out the links in the description. Buy my backing tracks, the Helix Studio presets. And if you buy anything through Amazon, even if it's toilet paper, click on one of my links, buy your toilet paper, and I'll get a small commission from that. And it just goes to help support the channel. So thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate everyone sticking around. And until next time, I am Dr. McFarland. I will see you on the next Taco Tuesday. Keep rocking.